Sunday, February 10th, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, we are here at windy.com. We're looking at the Pacific Ocean low pressure systems that are out here churning right now, getting ready to head towards the east, making their way towards the United States. This has been a common denominator out here in the Pacific Ocean with regard to big Titanic low pressure systems, and they continue to dominate the scene. This one here you see just north of Hawaii. This is right now as I do this video. Has wind gusts embedded in it of over 60 miles per hour. There's one right there just north of Hawaii. 65 mile an hour wind gust. And they are expecting waves of over 40 feet according to an article here at abc7.com. This was submitted by Magpie just a few hours ago, stated February 9th, 2019. This article was written yesterday in anticipation of this big giant low pressure system that's churning right now today. Expecting 40-foot waves and unprecedented coastal flooding to the north and west facing shores late Saturday and on Sunday today as I do this video. And that comes from the National Weather Service in Honolulu. There could be an extreme impact to the coastline with potentially significant damage to coastal property and infrastructure, according to the National Weather Service. Wind gusts could likely reach 50 mile an hour at times or greater. And if you look at windy.com right now, this low pressure system does have winds of over 60 miles per hour. And that's the blues you see right there. This white over here, wind speeds are over 70 and 80 mile per hour. And that's another Titanic low pressure system that's going to move to the east and affect the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia. That includes Seattle, Oregon, Portland, Northern California. But first, there's this low pressure system that's going to make its way down. This one's about a week out. This one's currently churning north of Hawaii. It's going to veer to the east, missing the Hawaiian Islands. It's going to be the outer edge of this low pressure system that's going to cause the possible damage that they're dealing with this afternoon and this evening with regard to high winds and high waves. But it's going to slowly move to the east. And as it moves to the east, as you'll see here at nullschool.net, it's going to turn into an atmospheric river. And that atmospheric river is going to affect central, north central California, parts of Oregon. There's the low pressure system I was talking about earlier here at windy.com. That one right there is going to be coming down into the Pacific Northwest. You can see it right here at Null School. That's a deep low pressure. Here's the one behind it that's got the winds of nearly 100 miles per hour. Yes, they're at the upper level latitudes or in the mid latitudes of the storm, but they could drop lower as the storm makes its way across the North Pacific. This here is an atmospheric river, and I'm going to show you the rain totals over here at VentureSky.com. We're going to back it up to, let's say, today. Let's go to Sunday the 10th here at VentureSky. Rain totals right now, and that's from today. You can see only in the elevations, everything's pretty quiet. Let's step it ahead to Wednesday, the 13th. And this is with regard to precipitation. So there's the low that we saw churning off the coast, the one that's the closest right now. That one's already going to impact the state of Washington with, depending on where you're at, if you're located in the elevations, obviously it'll be snow if it's below 32 degrees, but along the coast, by Wednesday you'll see anywhere from 4, some places 5 inches of rain, some form of precipitation. Just west of Seattle, 2.5 inches of rain. Now, with regard to this atmospheric river I was talking about, watch this. Look at California, Central California. Looks pretty normal. I mean, as far as rain goes, you know, less than an inch, in some cases a half an inch. Let's step it ahead to Saturday after the arrival of this atmospheric river. Much different picture. You're looking at 8, 10 inches up in the elevations. Along the coast, a couple of inches just north of San Francisco. Going north up into Oregon, 6, 7 inches of rain. The elevations, look at there, 13 inches. So a big difference after the arrival of this atmospheric river. And it's going to make its way from Hawaii, they call these a Pineapple Express sometimes, to the west coast of the United States by Thursday. And then we've got one low pressure system after another that's going to impact the Pacific Northwest. So it was probably a good idea to implement a state of emergency, as the weather conditions are going to continue to be tricky over the next week to 10 days. You can look at the WSDOT and you can see that most of the snow did not go to the Seattle area. This is a Seattle area highway cam, and you can see that the highways are clear as of 12:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, February 10th, 2019. And you can click on any one of these cameras and they're all pretty much the same. Not a whole lot of snow on the roads, a little bit on the sides, not too much on the trees, and these are very current images. In fact, these are the most recent images I could find. So Seattle did pretty good with regard to this storm, but guys, there are more on the way. Hawaii is dealing with one now, one of these Titanic low pressure systems that are out in the Pacific and are intensifying, and they are heading towards the United States slowly but surely. That's why the governor of the state of Washington went ahead and declared a state of emergency in anticipation of the second snowstorm of this week, possibly seeing anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of snow, which is the annual snowfall total for the entire year in Seattle. So it looks like, according to those cams, most of that snow did miss the Seattle area. As you can see here at the Seattle area cameras, you can look at any of these cameras and see that most of the roads are clear in the Seattle area. And as you'll see here at weathercharts.com, this is the precipitation forecast for the next 2 weeks from the Pacific Ocean heading into the western United States. The oranges, the purples, the yellows, the greens are all some form of precipitation. And there's that atmospheric river I was talking about right there that's going to cover a wide area, multi-state event. And this is a 2-week model. And 2-week models are always subject to change, but generally the first few days of this model are very accurate. Weathercharts.com is a very reliable source of information. You can see this low pressure system here just north of Hawaii that's generating the big waves and high winds. That's going to turn into that atmospheric river you see right there that's going to affect the West Coast by Thursday. A lot of rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And you can see up there again in the Pacific Northwest, that's a lot of snow on Saturday. That's next Saturday on the 16th. So big heads up, guys. The weather conditions aren't going to improve too much between now and next weekend. If anything, they're going to deteriorate as we get closer to next weekend. There's a look at the atmospheric river on Thursday, as it's going to be bringing a lot of moisture to the west coast of the United States. I want to finish up with a couple of pictures. This one was sent in by Leela. This is a hole punch cloud, so they call it. They always look like intelligently designed outlines of something, but nevertheless, there is yet another example of a hole punch cloud. I received that photograph today, and this photograph here was sent in by Christina from Florida. Looks like a giant feather in the sky. It almost has a little bit of a personality of a hole punch cloud, even though it's not per se. Looks like a feather. You can see lines down here at the end of this thing. I don't know. It's very, very unique. And she was very drawn to this thing in the sky, obviously. That's why she took pictures of it. I have to admit, I probably would have done the same thing. Don't know exactly what the name of this thing is. I don't know that anybody does, but I will say this. It is a very neat and cool observation. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate all your pictures, guys. You can send any sky phenomenon pictures you have to reports@MrMBB333.com, and I'll have them here at the website in the Sky Phenomenon photo gallery. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there, guys.